In this video, I am going to show you how to work with text in a frame with a background using the transparency option. If you notice with this ad right here, I have this text I would call this the headline. And basically what's happening is I wanted to bring out the I-4 that you see right here. And I wanted to have it, I really wanted it against the background, but I needed the background to be a little darker so that the I-4 could pop out more, so that you could see it more than if it was just sitting right on this lighter background, this light satiny kind of a background. So let's take a look and see how that can be done. Okay. The first thing we want to do is we have this already set up, and we're going to be looking at this top section right here. So we have this thing already set up, and what I want to do is I want to center this text frame vertically. You can see right now this text is centered from left to right. I want to center from top to bottom within this major rectangle right here, the larger rectangle right here. So what I want to do is I'll tap on this, go up to Object, drop down to um, Text Frame Options, and then I'm going to say Center vertically. I'll say Center, and there it is. I have it centered from top to bottom. The next thing I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to, if you remember in our example, this frame right here, and it should also be a text frame as well. And you can tell that it is a text frame because you'll see it has a little pound sign, just like the pound sign that exists in the frame above it. And what I want to do is I want to actually take this frame and convert that into a triangle. So I'm going to tap on this frame, go up to Object, drop down to Convert Shape, and then I'll say Make Triangle. But as you can see, when I made it a triangle, it's actually pointing in the wrong direction, and that's not really what I want. I need to be able to actually invert this so that it's pointing down. So what I want to do is, while I still have it centered, I'm going to go to my reference point, put it right in the middle because I needed to flip on the horizontal axis. So I hit center, I'm going to click on the flip vertical. Now I have that exactly the way I want it. So the next thing I want to do is I want to combine these two frames so that I have a new frame that has this little arrow pointing at the bottom of it. So I will put my finger on the Shift key, select both frames, and then I'm going to go up to go here to the side to the Pathfinder option, all right? And then I'm going to say Combine. Now, if you notice, when I said Combine, the text went away. And the reason why the text went away is because the topmost item was defined what was going to happen in both items that are selected. And in this case, the topmost item was that bottom frame that is now a triangle. So I'm going to undo that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the larger frame the topmost item. So I tap on that, go up to Object, drop down to Arrange, slide over to Bring to Front to make sure that it is the topmost item. Now, put my finger on the Shift key. I have both frames selected, and then I'll hit the Pathfinder, and voila. You can see now the text did not go away, and it's combined, but there is an issue. The issue is, if you notice that when we did that, the type actually dropped down a little bit. And the reason why it dropped down is because now it's centering between the top here and the bottom here. So it's trying to find the center point between this total height. But that's not what we want. We wanted it to remain where it was. So here's how we're going to fix that. Tap off so nothing is selected. Tap on it so that the frame is selected. Then we're going to go up to Object, drop down to Text Frame Option again, and we're going to go down to Baseline Option, and where the offset by default is a cent, we're going to click on this and we'll say Fixed. And once you say Fixed, there you have it. You have it. You can see that it moved up, and now it's centered in the top part of the frame or where it was initially. So that takes care of that issue. Next up is we need to actually fill this with a color and then take care of our transparency. So now that we have this frame selected, we're going to go over to our palette, okay, and we will make that a solid black. All right, now that we made that a solid black, what we want to do is we want to take care of transparency. So that this way now, because now we can see the I4, that's no problem, but guess what? We can't see the type. So we need to see the type. So we have the frame selected, and I'm saying it's one frame because the frame now consists of the triangle and of course the large rectangle. So we go up to FX, slide over to transparency, and then we pull over to transparency. Here's the key where it says object at the very top, settings 4. Click on that and drop down to fill. So this way, what it's going to do is that's going to take care of just the fill, not the contents. So I'm going to make the fill 30%. Okay, and then now you see the text is still at 100%, but the fill is 30% and the background is coming through. So if I'm going to display this thing, I will say view, display high quality. And so you can see that, and I'm zooming so you can see this, you can see that the background is still coming through, but the text is still solid. And the only thing that has changed is just the fill. So that's pretty much how you can work with the transparency option and the combine option, because remember we combined two frames and we're not stacking frames and like creating one frame and then creating another frame and then trying to stack it and trying to align it. No, we have everything in one frame and everything does what it needs to do.